Everything you need to know about the 2017 WGC Match play pairings. The WGC-Dell Technologies Match play pairings were announced Monday night, and though the event lacks the gravitas of the NCAA bracket unveiling, the pairings didn't fall short in drama. For those that forget, the match play revamped its format in 2015, partially leaving single elimination in favor of 16 pods of 4 players, with everyone playing a round-robin against the other 3 competitors. The players come from 4 categories divided by rank. The top 16 players are considered the A group, the next 16 classified as B, and so forth. The players are grouped randomly by a ping-pong machine. From there, the 16 group victors advance to a single elimination bracket, contested over 4 rounds on Saturday, Sweet 16 and quarterfinals, and Sunday, semifinals and finals. This year's match play returns to Austin Country Club, where it made its debut appearance in 2016. Jason Day is the reigning champ, soundly defeating Louis Oosthuizen, 5-4, to claim his second career match play crown. Here are the round-robin pairings, as well as our breakdown of each group. Jordan Spieth, Ryan Moore, Yuta Ikeda, and Hidetaka Nohara. Spieth is the obvious favorite, not only for his 2017 exploits, he ranks first in strokes gained, approach, and 5th in strokes gained, but for the Austin home field advantage. He played the course often in his 18 months on the UT men's golf team. But while Spieth has played well in 3 match play appearances, don't sleep on Moore, his Ryder Cup teammate. The 34-year-old made the tournament's quarterfinals last year and clinched the American victory at Hazeltine with his Sunday singles win over Lee Westwood. And if that didn't solidify his match play credentials, there's the 2004 U.S. Amateur and 2 U.S. Pub Links titles on his trophy mantle. Ikeda is the X-Factor, a terrific ball striker yet a streaky player. He finished 2016 with 4 top 2 finishes in his last 5 events but hasn't made a cut this season. Hideki Matsuyama, Louis Oosthuizen, Ross Fisher, Jim Furyk. Matsuyama's had mixed results at this event. Conversely, he ranks 3rd in birdies this year and is one of the 5 best golfers in the game, so maybe we take his past with a grain of salt. Oosthuizen thrives in this environment, finishing 2nd today in 2016 with consecutive quarterfinals appearances in 2014 and 2015. He made a nice run at Phoenix in February, and his game has been consistent, if not spectacular, since. Fisher is experiencing a career revival at 36, making his first appearance at the event since 2011. He also won the 2009 Volvo World Match Play Championship, circling him as a formidable opponent. In an unrelated note, these seem like 4 dudes who would get along splendidly, so don't envision any Keegan Bradley Miguel Angel Jimenez fireworks from this spot. Rory McIlroy, Emiliano Grillo, Gary Woodland, Soren Kjeldsen. Grillo went 68 or lower in 3 rounds at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, a positive sign given his putting struggles this season. Woodland's been hot with 4 top 10s and 2 second-place finishes in 2017, and if that record doesn't frighten his opponents, his runner-up finish at this event in 2015 should. Of course, the guy he lost to happens to be McIlroy. Along with his 2015 victory, Rory finished 4th last year and 2nd in 2012. Better yet, his showings in Mexico and Bay Hill testify the 4-time major winner doesn't seem to suffering any lingering effects of his rib injury. Programming note: Rory showed up on set with a "You're going to ask me about Patrick Reed, aren't you?" look on his grill, and damned if Todd Lewis didn't throw a re-jab his way. Keep this in mind if McIlroy has the fire of Hephaestus in his eyes this weekend. Tyrrell Hatton, Rafa Cabrera Bello, Jun Wang, Charles Howell 3. As Cabrera Bello proved at Hazeltine, he can be a beast in this format. He also enters Austin in prime form, with 5 top 20s in his last 8 outings. Howell is an interesting study, as he's enjoyed a promising start to the season but has historically withered in this event, with 0 quarterfinal appearances in 8 tries. But the name to know is Hatton, one of the 3 hottest players in the sport. The 25-year-old has a whopping 8 top 10s in his last 11 starts, with his worst finish at T25 in that span. He's making his match play debut, but don't be surprised if the Englishman makes some noise in Austin, and at Augusta National in 2 weeks. Also, for those of a gambling persuasion, Vegas has Hatton at 26-1 odds. We mentioned those 8 top 10s, right? Matt Cucker, Tommy Fleetwood, Zach Johnson, Brendan Steele. Though this group may lack the pizzazz of some of the other pods, these four could show up to your neighborhood barbecue and no one would bat an eye. It might have the best depth. Cucker and Johnson are veterans with 19 combined match play appearances. Fleetwood is on a roll with 6 top 12s in his last 8 starts, and Steele is enjoying a breakout campaign, in the top 20 in 3 strokes gained categories, 8th in FedEx Cup points. This will be a dogfight. Justin Thomas, Matt Fitzpatrick, Kevin Na, Chris Wood. To those worried about Thomas' 3 missed cuts in his last 5 outings, clears throat. He's already won 3 times this season. And if you're harping on those tournaments gone awry, don't forget to mention his T5 at the WGC Mexico a few weeks back. Na and Wood seem like tantalizing sleepers until realizing they've done bupkis in 7 combined match play appearances. On the other end of the spectrum, Fitzpatrick will be a fascinating watch. Some view him as England's next great hope, while others scoff at his lack of distance and consistency. The distance won't be a factor at Austin, and for those worried about durability, well, he's only 22. Don't be shocked if he translates a promising display at Bay Hill into Texas dividends. Sergio Garcia, John Ram, Kevin Chappell, Shane Lowry. A nice-sized audience gathered for Monday night's event in Austin, and it was clear that visions of Ram, the fledgling superstar, matched against the likes of Spieth, Rory, Jason Day or Dustin Johnson danced in their heads. When Ram's name followed Garcia's, the audience's disappointment was palpable. Which isn't fair. Confirmed with a victory in Dubai, Sergio has plenty of gas in his tank. In that same breath, the group will have its hands full with Ram, who ranks 3rd in strokes gained and 5th in scoring average. Chappell is making his tournament debut thanks to a phenomenal 2016. That said, he's desperately seeking signs of life, finishing inside the top 40 just once in his last 9 starts. Alex Noren, Francesco Molinari, Bernd Weisberger, Thong Chai Jati. Noren's considerably cooled off since winning 4 times in the second half of 2016 and has been out of sorts on North American soil, MC at Oakmont, T49 at Walters Roll, T55 in Mexico City, T49 at Bay Hill. Molinari has only finished better than T33 once in 6 match play tries, and Weisberger's track record is similarly unremarkable. JD, with a sound approach game, could be a tougher out than his world ranking suggests. Patrick Reed, Brooks Koepka, Kevin Kisner, Jason Duffner. Whatever the over/under is on Reed Ryder Cup highlights during the round-robin format, take the over. At first glance, this is one of the tougher pods in round-robin play, and it certainly boasts name recognition. In truth, however, the bark is worse than the bite. Reed hasn't finished inside the top 25 in his last 5 starts, and his iron work is a mess, ranks 187th in strokes gained/approach. Diouf has been consistent this season, yet hasn't challenged in a tournament and sits 76th in the FedEx Cup. And something is really up with Koepka. In 6 starts in 2017, he has 4 missed cuts, a T42 in Phoenix and T48 in Mexico City. The only saving grace is Kisner, who finished T2 at Bay Hill, owns 4 top 12s on the year and ranks 7th in strokes gained. Dustin Johnson, Jimmy Walker, Martin Kaymer, Webb Simpson. Here's your group of death. All major winners, with 3 playing in last year's Ryder Cup. Johnson enters as the world number 1, and with good reason. He's won his last 2 events, finished inside the top 6 in 6 of his past 7 tournaments and ranks 1st in strokes gained. If you're looking for a weakness, he's reached the match play quarterfinals just once in 8 attempts. Walker has quietly bounced back from a slow start with 3 straight top 25s, while Kaymer has enjoyed a nice run as well, 6 top 25s in 7 starts. Whoever emerges will be a threat to win the tournament. Jason Day, Mark Leishman, Lee Westwood, Pat Perez. Got to feel for Day. His title defense begins against last week's API winner, another competitor that already has a tour victory this season and a player with 10 Ryder Cups under his belt. Then again, Day has captured this event 2 of the past 3 years and finished 3rd in 2014, so he's likely not too startled. Day's wins and Westwood's experience make them favorites, but don't count out Leishman. He ranks 2nd on tour in strokes gained, putting and 4th in scoring average, attributes that correlate to match play success. Danny Willett, Russell Knox, Bill Haas, KT Kim. Poor Willett is out of sorts, with just one finish inside the top 50 in his past 5 tournaments. Luckily, match play has been kind to the reigning Masters champ, finishing 3rd in 2015, and offers a platform for Willett to right the ship. Haas is too competent not to have better results at match play, 0 for 6 in quarter-final appearances, and though he hasn't transferred last year's goodwill to 2017, Knox's penchant for red scores, 8th in birdie average, makes him a menacing adversary in this format. Plus, Knox is an unreasonably nice guy. It's always the friendly ones who can drive a stake through your heart. Paul Casey, Charles Schwartzel, Bai Yong Hunan, Just Blue Iton. Casey's back-to-back silver medals in match play will grab headlines from this group. While those displays warrant attention, be wary of the 39-year-old on the dance floor. He ranks 174th in total putting and 141st in strokes gained putting. Casey remains excellent with an iron or wedge in his hand, but the flat stick can be the bane of your existence in match play. Un's distance off the tee could present its share of scoring opportunities, but Schwartzel, who can ride a birdie streak with the best of them, will be the headache in this spot. Assuming he can avoid errant shots from his playing partners, that is. Bubba Watson, Thomas Pieters, Scott Piercy, Joan in Vegas. One doesn't normally associate Bubba as a match play savant, yet his record begs to differ. The two-time Masters winner could be a tricky out, and frankly, Watson needs to find something in Austin before traveling to Augusta, flaunting only 2 top 10s in the past calendar year. The popular pick will be Pieters, with many remembering his feats at Hazeltine to justify his cause. He's certainly shown flashes, finishing 2nd at the Genesis Open and T5 in Mexico City, but he hasn't found a way to stop the bleeding when things go bad, with 3 missed cuts in his last 6 events. If he wants to do damage this week, he needs to stabilize his B game. Phil Mickelson, J.B. Holmes, Daniel Berger, Siwoo Kim. It's staggering that Mickelson endures as an A player at age 46. Equally stunning, Mickelson's reached the tournament's quarterfinals only once. For a guy that loves the spotlight this event bestows, one would think he'd have any entire cabinet of match play silverware by now. Berger has been frustratingly streaky this year, but high marks in putting, 17th in strokes gained, and birdie average, 11th, circles him as this group's dark horse. Also, pray for Kim. Cat is one of the shortest hitters on tour, averaging less than 280 yards off the tee, and has the misfortune of competing against this trio of rocket launchers. Drive for show, putt for dough loses its luster when you're 40 yards behind Holmes every hole, you know. Brendan Grace, Brandt Snedeker, Will McGirt, Andy Sullivan. There are a handful of guys that, when you watch them on the range, you wonder, how the hell don't they win more? Grace certainly fits that bill. The 28-year-old has been on a roller coaster in 2017, with a couple nice tournaments mixed in with missed cuts and a WD. His sabermetrics this year are dreadful, but if he reverts back to 2016's performance, his approach game will put the heat on his opponents. Speaking of bringing the fire, Stens and his short game will make many a rival uneasy. Any weekend prospects, however, reside in his approach game. The Vandy product is not necessarily long off the tee. If his irons continue to produce results, any hopes of mustering a charge will be for naught.